Hi, this is Christy. Today we're going to work on one of the word problems for the module on measurement and conversion. I'll be referring to the Solving Math Word Problems checklist as we go. Step number 1, understand the problem. We always read and reread. It takes 3.5 hours to wash every window on an office building. There are 30 windows and 4 doors on the building. How many minutes does it take to wash one window? All right, as we reread, this time I'm going to make a note by underlining numbers or units that might be applicable when I solve the problem. It takes 3.5 hours, okay, that's probably going to be important, to wash every window on an office building. There are 30 windows and 4 doors on the building. How many minutes does it take to wash one window? Okay, let's do 30 windows, 4 doors, and then I also heard one window. It's spelled out, but we can put it in number form if we want. Excellent. Now to refer back to the Solving Math Word Problems checklist, visualize or draw it, and then look up unknown words. I didn't come across any words that I didn't know when I was reading this, so let's work on visualizing. Well, I have an office building. We don't know what it looks like, but that's okay. It's got windows and doors. Window, 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 window. And it's got 4 doors. Now, an office building would usually have windows on sides. If we wanted to get fancy, we could do more of a 3D shape here. There would be windows going all across the side as well. I don't think I need to draw 30. I think I'm just going to make myself a little note that there's 30 windows and there's 4 doors. Good. Let's go back to our checklist. Determine what the question is asking you to find. That's important. Over here in the problem, it says, how many minutes does it take to wash one window? That's important because we were given the information in hours. So we're going to have to do a conversion. I need to find out how many minutes it takes to wash just one window. Checklist also says to identify required, extra, or missing information. As I was reading this, I noticed it talked about doors here. There are 30 windows and 4 doors on the building. But the first sentence said nothing about how long it took to wash the doors, just the windows. And the last sentence says, how many minutes does it take to wash one window? So I think the doors here is actually extra information that we don't need. Now we're on step 2, which says, make a plan to solve the problem. Come up with a strategy and estimate the answer. Well, we talked about it already, but I'm going to need to convert hours to minutes in order to do what the problem is asking. Convert hours to minutes. That will be my first step. Step number 2, if I know how long it takes to wash all the windows, I should be able to divide by the number of windows in order to get how long it takes to wash one window. So I'm going to take the total time divided by the number of windows. And that should give me my answer. Now, come up with an estimate. I'm going to round up here and say it takes 4 hours to wash every window. This is an estimate. 4 hours to wash every window. So how many minutes is 4 hours? Let's see. There's 60 minutes per hour. 4 times 60 is 240. I just did that in my head, really. And there's 30 windows. I can actually cross off my zeros. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So I think my estimate is going to be about 8 minutes per window. And that's without using a calculator, and it's with rounding from 3.5 hours up to 4. I think my answer should be near 8 minutes. All right, let's get started solving the problem. Write out all work neatly, make several attempts to solve the problem, don't give up, and double check your math. We are ready to solve. Step number 1 said to convert hours to minutes. All right, let's go ahead and do that. When I work something like this, I always start off on the left side with what I've been given. And here I've been given 3.5 hours. And then I always move over to what I want, or what the problem wants from me. I want to know how many minutes it takes. So 3.5 hours converts to how many minutes? Once you get it set up like this, the conversion is not very hard. You leave everything the way that you have it, 3.5, and you're going to multiply it by whatever conversion you've been given. In this case, they did not provide us with one, so we have to know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. But do I write it like this? Do I put 60 minutes, 1 hour? Or do I flip it and do 1 hour has 60 minutes? And you have to look over here. When you started this, you kept this on the top line here, top line, you're going to leave it like you had it. Put your minutes back on the top line. And on the bottom, you're going to put 1 hour, fill it in here, it has 60 minutes. So I just want to make sure that you understand how I did this. I was given 3.5 hours, and across the same line, I wanted to know how many minutes. Do I still have 3.5 hours and 60 minutes on the same line? I do. 3.5 hours and 60 minutes are still on the top. On the denominator, I just have 1 hour. Now here's the interesting thing, which makes conversions fairly simple. It's just like fractions. When you simplify them, you can cancel out units or numbers. Here I'm canceling out the units. Hours cancels out with hours. So now I have to do 3.5 times 60, and my answer will be in minutes. Let's use a calculator for that. .5 times 60 is 210. It's 210 minutes. That was step number 1, convert hours to minutes. It took 210 minutes to wash every window on an office building. Step number 2, now take that total time, divide by the number of windows. 210 minutes divided by 30 windows. Let's use our calculator again. Seven. 210 divided by 30 is 7 minutes per window. Now we're going to double check our math. You could use your calculator to double check it. What I'm going to do this time is just figure out, I'm going to cancel my zeros here. What's 21 divided by 3? 7. 7 minutes per window. Go Going back to my Solving Math Word Problems checklist, step number 4, reflect on the problem. Did you answer the question, and is your answer close to the estimate? Did I answer the problem? Let's write the problem down. How many minutes does it take to wash one window? We did our conversion into minutes right here. We have 210 minutes. We divided that by the number of windows, and we came up with 7 minutes per window. So I did answer the question. Is my answer close to the estimate? Up here I estimated in my head by rounding up to 4 hours, and I got 8 minutes per window. 7 and 8 are very close together, so this confirms my answer. Good job!